Hello everyone, Aparna here. I'm back today with my fourth and final video about tips to overcome creative block. Sincere apologies for not being able to post this video last time. Just got wrapped up with family matters. However, I'm very proud of myself because I did manage to create these two lovely pumpkins in spite of feeling a massive creative block right now. And yeah, I'm really happy I did that, and I wanted to show it to you today. And this one is done with watercolor. I will be later on editing this video and adding the process video for how I made this one, and along with that I will be giving you, or rather summing up all the tips for you guys. And this one I did on my sketchbook, pocket sketchbook, with watercolor and pen. Had a wonderful time. It was all done in I believe 15 to 30 minutes, both of them, and it felt amazing, guys. It felt absolutely amazing considering I was going through a block. And yes, I did say I was, because I'm really excited. I feel like creating more now, maybe smaller things, not bigger canvases, but I do want to create again. And that was the purpose of creating these videos as well. Whatever points I have been telling you, these are suggestions that have helped me over the past so many years, and they worked for me, and I do hope that they at least some of them will be able to help you as well in your journey. So to come back to the video, I showed you in the last video, I believe in the third one, the previous one, how I tried to explain it to you that sometimes when you really want to do painting or drawing or sketching and you are not able to do it, the creative block, then do something completely different. And what I did was, let me just move these around. I showed you how I turned this watercolor pad. It was a pad stuck on one side, no, stuck on all the four sides, and I really struggle with papers with loose pages. They keep coming out of a pad, and that really annoys me. And I saw this amazing video by Jessica Lynn Illustration. I will add the link below in this video. You can look into her YouTube channel. Fantastic, solved my problem. And today when I open it, as you can see, pages are not coming out. It was a fantastic experience, and this led to me deciding that I have many more sketchbooks which come with bindings like this. I mean, they don't have a binder. Like, I have this Arches paper. It's kind of big. It's stuck in one side but open on the other, so anytime I open it, I know the page is going to come out. And it is 9 inches into 12 inches, too big for me. Big papers are sort of little intimidating for me at this point in my journey. So what I have decided is that I'm going to cut them off into small sizes, most likely sort of A5 sizes or A6. I will hopefully be traveling very soon, so I can carry my arch favorite Arches paper with me. So I'm really excited about that part. Not only that, I found I have these small pads as well by Brustro. I will hopefully make a video later on about them, but I have them, and as you can see, again, same thing. They are stuck, glued on one side, and I know what happens. You keep using them and they keep coming out, and I'm not going to do more because one of the pages on the back is already coming out. So so now, because I did something completely different from painting and drawing and sketching, this gave me a wonderful idea, and I really enjoyed making this sketchbook. And this keeps me in the creative line. not coloring, not painting, not doodling, not uh, creating any beautiful uh, masterpiece, but staying in the line of creativity. And that is what is very important when you have a creative block, and to stay creative when you feel that block coming in and absolutely getting over you completely, taking over you completely. So stay creative, do something different. This, when I was making these sketchbooks, not these ones, this one, I realized how I was really missing my watercolors, I was missing my acrylics, and I was getting some ideas what to do. So this really helped me that way. However, in that process, I also learned something new. I learned how to create my own sketchbooks. I haven't been using this Arches paper for almost 4 years because I felt I'm still not good with watercolors. I'm still learning, and you know, we all know how it goes. I just want to become the best before I want to use the most expensive paper that I have. Then I realized that it's not helping me because I don't know how Arches paper works because I'm not using it. The paper, however, is still very big for me, and I want to turn them into smaller sheets of paper. I don't like loose papers. I like them all to be together or filed properly. So now, when I did this, I immediately got this idea about creating something new again. So now I'm going to apply the same techniques like I did in this one, and I'm going to create my own sketchbook with Arches watercolor paper in it. And I also did this knitting like I showed you, and I cannot believe it. Like, this is probably the neatest knit work that I have ever done. The patterns have come out so lovely. Again, knitting is not really my thing. It's I like hand made stuff. I like to see knittings. I like to see crochet work done, thread work done. But me doing it personally doesn't happen. However, it's something interesting. It's something nice. I found down the line that when I really feel an intense creative block with my art, I like to go a little bit crafty. Okay, that didn't sound very nice. Crafty meaning I like to do some craft. This may not be a craft. I have no idea what knitting falls into. I apologize if I'm using the wrong word here. But knitting, because I've seen my mom doing knitting, and she does crochet. That was too hard for me, but I did start doing it, and I think this looks lovely. This is the first time I actually managed doing such a neat work. And the best thing is I feel very satisfied that I've learned something new. I stayed in touch with creativity, and yeah, I yesterday last night I actually started learning something called a puff shell crochet pattern. I might be butchering that. I was following a YouTube video and I was doing it. And the more I did, I realized how much I was missing my acrylics. However, a part of me was very happy that I'm learning something new. And this is exciting. If I can do something in crochet or knitting, I can actually create my own scarves. And I've done that. I do wear my own scarves. I've gifted them. My mom, my dad, they actually wear scarves that I have created on my own. So that feels wonderful, and that was the reason why I created the last video. I do feel if you stay in touch with creativity, your creative block tends to get taken care of. It takes time, but it happens. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to end this video here and attach another one, and I will edit this video and I'll show you the process video for this one, the pumpkin. Well, I'm liking pumpkins nowadays. So I'll show you the process of a time-lapse video about the pumpkin painting, and I will also sum up the points that I have for you, points that have worked for me, tips that have worked for me. And I definitely hope that it will help at least someone out there. So this is the video that I was talking to you about. You will see me paint a pumpkin with watercolors. So I'll get back to the points quickly here. So in the first video, if you remember, you saw me doodling and using lines to create different artworks and helping me in my creative block. And what happened was that I had this pocket sketchbook with me, and because I am aware now that pens can help me in breaking my creative block, I used a pen. And if you remember, if you have seen the part 1 of my series, I just did simple lines on the backdrops of all the previous works that I did on a pocket sketchbook. There were just one objects drawn on the small sketchbooks, and all that I did was I drew lines and dots behind that object. So as I was doing it, I really got into it, and it gave me an idea about how I can help filling up the sketchbooks with simple lines. Now that helped me a lot. I also love doodling. So when I feel and again, I cannot doodle just anytime, any day. So I have seen that when I have these creative blocks, I love to explore doodling. I just pick up the pen and I just start doodling and see if that works for you. That definitely works for me a lot, and pen really helps me incredibly, tremendously. And I've never really done something like this before, drawing backgrounds with lines. So this really gave me a wonderful idea that in future, whenever I face something like a creative block again, this can be a wonderful way to break it. And not only that, I can actually make complete pieces of artworks with lines on the background. That is what it does. If you have a creative block, you sit with something, you end up getting some new ideas, and that's how you can get a crack in your creative block. The second point is that I believe that you should be gentle to yourself. However, sometimes you need to be firm with yourself as well. When you feel that you really cannot come up with anything, push yourself gently and do what you have always liked to do and are not able to do it now. So if you love painting, then push yourself a little bit more, a little bit firmly, and just grab your art supplies. The simplest one is always the best. Complicated stuff don't work well when you have a creative block. Maybe for me it's pen, it can be watercolor, it can be acrylics, whatever medium you work in, push yourself a little bit more and paint. What you have to do is not to focus on the end result. You just have to breathe and focus on the progress. Focus on the journey, not in the end product. Because things will happen, you might not like what you are seeing. Maybe the technique, you're not able to follow the technique that you generally follow. Things will happen. Let it be. Just breathe and let it be. Just do the work. Most of the time, it really helps you. Next point is, I suggested that you do something completely different from what you are doing generally. So for me, it was knitting and crochet, and I ended up also creating my own sketchbooks. And I'm going to link the YouTube channel by Jessica Lynn Illustration. I saw her video how she created her own sketchbooks, and it was such a wonderful experience for me. And I created my own journal here, and now I am so excited. I have some other papers with me, and I don't like loose papers falling all over the place and mismanaged. And now I can turn them all into journals and keep them neat and tidy with me. And that's it. That's called creativity, isn't it? Creativity when your mind is blocked. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So do something completely different and see how it sparks creativity in you again. Trust me, tried and tested with me. I do hope it works for you as well. So another point is, always keep some of your art materials accessible to you. If you spend more time in the sitting room, then keep a small sketching pad and a pen next to you. You just never know when you feel like doing something, some doodling or just something you're watching TV. Pick up your sketchbook and doodle. Believe me, it helps a lot. So when you have a creative block, maybe you can just keep your TV on or whatever program you're watching. Even the one that I'm doing now, if you don't have to really watch me paint a pumpkin, you probably already know how to paint a pumpkin. And on all likelihood, you probably will end up making something even better than what I'm doing right now. So just keep the volume up, grab your sketchbook, doodle around, and just be very proud of yourself for doing something that you felt you were not able to do. Always breathe and be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Understand that a creative block is part of the process. It happens to a seasoned artist, to a beginner, happens to everyone. It's just part of the process, and you just let it go. Just enjoy, go slow, breathe, and things will come back to you. Don't give up. Very important. Don't give up. Understand that you are having a creative block, but that does not mean you give up. Do not give up. Giving up means not getting back to painting or whatever you want to do again for a very long time, and we don't want that. So focus on the progress. Be gentle to yourself. Love every work that you do. Stay creative. Do something completely different, but that doing something completely different also keeps you in a creative line. So that is extremely good, and it actually makes you realize that you can actually do something more as well. That's what I have learned. Knitting was never my thing. I'm not even sure why I started knitting. It was a gift for my kid, a beginner's 5+ or 10+ gift that was given to my daughter. She didn't even bother looking at it, but I somehow got the attention and I just started doing it. So I'm not a knitter by any means, but it did help me stay creative. I ended up learning something new, and I just ended up enjoying. And the more I was doing it, the more I was actually missing my art materials. And now I really have so many ideas in my mind as to what I want to do next. So stay creative when you feel you have a creative block. That is very, very important. And when you are going slow, try not to get into social media and do mindless scrolling. That's very important, that you don't do mindless scrolling. YouTube, internets are very helpful, especially YouTube channels. You can learn a lot, but be conscious about how much time you are spending watching, because I have seen that, including myself, that I feel very guilty, like if I watch if I do scrolling mindlessly without really seeing what is happening, and then I'm like, I should have done something. I should have painted something I really wanted to do, instead of just mindlessly watching TV and Netflix and stuff like that. So create for yourself. Don't scroll mindlessly. Enjoy the work. Love what you are creating. That's quintessential, that you love what you create. Enjoy the process. Breathe and trust in yourself. It's very important that you trust yourself and know that you can do it. And whenever possible, keep your art materials little accessible to you, and I'm sure you will get there. And the more you do, the more you experiment, the more you explore, you will find other ways to you'll find other ways to actually deal with your own creative blocks, like I have found mine. And now for the final tip, a tip that has worked miracle for me, and that is cleaning my palettes. And this one is a tiny watercolor palette that I have. This is another one that I use, a messy one. Another one is this acrylic one. This is kind of very big. I'm not able to fit it into the frame, video frame, but this is my acrylic palette. And guys, I don't know why it is like this, but whenever I find myself in a state of creative block, I get into cleaning. We all love messy palettes, don't we? So what I have learned down the line in my journey is that though I love these messy palettes, I keep the cleaning part for these days when I go through a creative block. I don't know the logic behind it, I don't understand the science behind it, but cleaning a palette and also sort of fiddling around with art supplies really help ignite the creativity in me, and it really helps me to get back on track. And yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. I don't know why it happens like that. I believe when you are playing around with your colors, you're cleaning it, it's sort of inviting you again to come back and start doing something that you always love to do, isn't it? Maybe that's what it is all about. And I know I've heard people say, other artists say that cleaning really helps them as well. So I think there is something to it, something you should definitely try it. Works absolute wonders with me, and I really do hope these tips help you out, and they have been a blessing to me. And yeah, so let me know, guys, how do you feel about your creative blocks? What do you guys do when you find yourself in that state? And I would love to know some new points. These are the points that work for me, these tips work for me, and but I'm really open to knowing some other points out here. And yeah, that's it. I do hope all these tips have helped you. And if you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. Really helps a new channel like mine. And definitely waiting to hear some comments from you guys and getting to know some tips from you as well. So until next time, stay happy and stay creative. Bye.